on here? Push. There we go, beautiful. All right, well, thank you so much for waiting and for our little snafus getting all the way to Kalamazoo today. So I am very excited to be here with you. My name is Dr. Shelley Jones-Holt. I'm with McPherson and Jacobson. And we are obviously interested in being your folks here to support your superintendent search. And so we just want to thank you, first of all, for considering us. And we are glad that our team here for you will be two people. It will be myself and Dr. Kristen Taylor, both of whom have served as superintendents. I've actually served here in Michigan as superintendent after doing over 20 years as an administrator in California. I'm very proud to have been the 2016 State of California Equity Administrator of the Year, which is one of the reasons that I am very close and supportive of the work of McPherson and Jacobson, especially when it comes to supporting newer or superintendents who typically don't fit the mold of what superintendents look like. And so you'll have myself and Kristen here to support you for this search. McPherson and Jacobson is one of the leading superintendent search firms in the nation. We have conducted over 540 searches, and one of the things that we're proud of is that over 50% of our superintendents are currently in their positions for over 10 years. We have over 30% that have been in their positions for over, I have to make sure I get these numbers right, 50% that have been in their positions over 10 years, 30% that have been in their positions 15 years or more, and a majority of our folks that we have placed are non-traditional superintendent candidates. And so we're very excited about that. And we do believe that it is our search process that does provide that support for boards and superintendents to have a lasting relationship together. We believe here, as stated, that every child is entitled to a high-quality education. Most of us who serve as superintendent consultants for the search firm have served as superintendents. I started as a classroom teacher myself and then moved through to being superintendent of the 14th largest district here in the state of Michigan. And one of the things that we're most proud of is our connections between the superintendency and student achievement. We know that that role plays a pivotal part in ensuring that all students are growing and learning. And so we do take very concerted effort of making sure that our superintendents and board teams are very well supported. So just know that McPherson and Jacobson does not hire superintendents. We always have to give this clarity because we don't hire the superintendent. We support you and help you facilitate that process to get a superintendent that is a match for not only your district and you as a team, but also for the goals that you have, your vision moving forward. And so we represent the board and we work strictly for the Board of Education. We are your representatives. We are recruiters of talent, so many of us who serve in these roles, Kristen and I included, we literally do my job full-time is as an equity, diversity, and inclusion consultant. I work with school districts, police departments, churches, you name it, I work with them, especially right now. And so we come across a lot of people who are absolutely amazing in their fields and oftentimes are going, hey, you know, I might be thinking about that next move. And so we literally do our everyday jobs, and then it's like if we find some folks that are pretty good and we think could do well in these positions, we recruit that talent. We also, as he said here, recruitment rates over 85%, that was the number I was looking for, 85% have been in their positions 5 years or more. That's really critical as you think about superintendents that are kind of going through this revolving door, especially right now with where education is. And so we're very proud that we feel like we do a really good job of letting them know what the job really is about because many of us have served as former superintendents. We know what it feels like to be in those shoes. And so we often will, you know, recruit folks for the position. And to be quite honest, we'll also kind of guide people in other directions. So like, this might not be the position you want if you're trying to do, you know, certain things because the superintendency is a very unique role, as you all know. Oh. Like I can't play with both screens like I do when I'm at home on Zoom. Like I have my own screen and then this one up here, this one just moves. So the investment that you have for this search is not to exceed 28,200, and that is a not to exceed amount, meaning that whatever kind of incidentals, and you'll see along the way that there can be different kinds of expenses that can make the process more or less expensive. That amount is your absolute not to exceed amount, and I can safely say that of the searches that I personally have done, we have never hit our not to exceed amount. We are very cost conscious. Oftentimes because many of us have served in the role and we know how budgets are these days. Included in that amount, you do get all 5 parts of the process. And so we will speak to all 5 parts of the process today. And you'll also get 30 days on AASA, 30 days on Top School Jobs, 30 days of NAPSE, and 6 weeks of the Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents. That's really critical, especially as we look for candidates that have been non-traditional and also folks that have been specially trained for districts like Kalamazoo, which is, a larger district that has very specific needs, and we need to have a wide array of candidates that we can look at to recruit for these positions. We will have at minimum, and I say at minimum because as I started to look at your district, I don't know that 2 days is quite going to be enough, so it may be more. The great thing with me being a local search consultant, it takes me a couple hours to get here. I live in Belleville, but I can definitely get back and forth, and we do several times, and you'll see as I start to talk about the stakeholder engagement meetings, we do several virtual meetings as well as have an online survey for stakeholder input. So that's huge for us because that helps to guide kind of everything that we do, is what does the community need and also want in their superintendent. We do video interviews of the candidates, which is always fun, especially when you have like a wide array of candidates that you want to see, but we don't want to invite all of them here at the expense of the district. We do there's a portion that's a 3-minute interview that you'll just get to see a video of, and then we can do online interviews and then proceed to the in-person should you choose. We do this is something that we're very excited about because this started right after I started with the company back in 2020. And we do criminal, financial, and credential verification checks for candidates that are chosen for the board interviews. So really, you will not lay eyes on a candidate here physically that has not been criminally, financially, and credential checked. We will also, especially after my personal experience here in Michigan, make sure that the credentials are transferable and assure that process occurs if you decide to go for an out-of-state candidate, because having known now that is something that oftentimes Michigan has different sets of rules, if you will. Travel expenses for consultants for scheduled trips are included in that, and office expenses, which are very minimal. And like I said, I'm local, so it's just a matter of me driving up here.